Aloha everybody, John with you. Welcome back to my channel, and it's time for an update video. I know it's been a while, but I think I have enough new additions to my collection to do a new Hawaiian record update on the new vinyl additions to my Hawaiian, Exotica, and South Pacific record collection. So let's take a look at what I got. Okay, so I have 7 new records to show you today. The first one is from an artist called Eddie Bush. Now, actually, there are 2 Eddie Bushes that I'm aware of that I have records from. One, Eddie Bush is a ukulele player. This is the only solo album of his that I'm aware of. And also, this is also Eddie Bush, somebody different, a steel guitar player. And I know both of them, I think, played with other groups and things, but these are the only solo albums I'm aware of by them. So the new album I saw was from Japan, and so I wasn't exactly sure. The artist was Eddie Bush and his Blue Islanders, and I wasn't 100% sure which Eddie Bush it was going to be. But considering that the album was called Ukulele Hawaiian Golden Play, a very odd title, I figured it was probably the ukulele player, this one, and I was right. It's a gatefold record on Overseas Records from Japan, Ukulele Hawaiian Golden Play. It's a gatefold record, and it's pretty typical sort of Japanese Hawaiian album in that it has all the songs that they always have. They have a dozen or so sort of standards that are on pretty much every Japanese Hawaiian album. And we have them all here on this record. And it's a fine record. I mean, it's not personally anything super exciting because, as I said, it's all from, the songs you know, and it's the arrangements are not anything spectacular or exciting. They're fine. They're totally fine. It's just not anything to make you go, wow, But it's unusual. I mean, and it is, I'm finding out in time, more typical, or quite typical for artists, a lot of Hawaiian artists, to have records that were recorded in Japan and not released in the States or elsewhere in the world. So sometimes, not always, sometimes it's reissues of stuff, but sometimes you can find records from Japan from an artist like this that are only in Japan, only available. Next artist is one also who I had something from before, Paul Carson? I always want to say Carlson. Paul Carson plays the pipe organ, and I've had this song, which I got way back when I lived in Portland, many years, Music of Hawaii. Paul Carson plays the pipe organ, and it's kind of a pretty record, but I was always intrigued because it says somewhere on here, is it on the front? Yeah, very small lettering, but it says Volume 1. I don't know if you can even see that. So I've never seen Volume 2. I've never seen it listed anywhere. I've never seen anything about Volume 2. And then one day it appeared, so I had to get it. With a considerably less exciting or tropical cover, it's the Music of Hawaii Volume 2, Paul Carson at the pipe organ. It is on the, it's red vinyl also, by the way. Very exciting. On Alma Records out of Los Angeles. Check out the red vinyl. Now, I have to say also I'm very pleasantly surprised with this album. I mean, the other one was okay, but this one I really like better. And interestingly, it has a lot of songs, or several songs, that you really wouldn't normally hear an organ pipe organ version of. I mean, you know, the My Olive Golden Dreams and all those kind of songs, of course, they would play on the pipe organ, but this has some other songs, Coral Sea and Blue Pacific Moonlight, a couple of actually Hawaiian songs, Vaio Minihaha and Pau Aliko Kalehua, which Kamakani Kaili Aloha. It's interesting to hear those on the organ. And there's a nice steel guitar. This is just, it's like a nicely arranged album with some nice small combo sounds with it. Pleasant surprise, this one. Music of Hawaii Volume 2. Speaking of organ, I do have another organ record that I got. This is one of the 10-inch ones, 10-inch long play one, simply called Hawaiian Melodies with Gaylord Carter at the organ. And you have to love the cover of this with actually people dancing the Filipino bamboo organ, the bamboo dance. Once again, I would say I was surprised that I liked this album too. Just kind of nice arrangements, a nice steel on it. I'm not the biggest fan of pipe organ, but these two albums, I thought they kind of worked. They were nice. Here was a find at a good price. I've seen this one very expensive, and I finally got it at a reasonable price. It's not recorded in Hawaii. It's recorded in Phoenix, Arizona on Tandy Records. Quite a fetching cover here though. Hawaiian Rhapsody, the magic voice of Tandy, Nalani, Andrade. Nice album, very typical Hawaiian arrangements and a very typical Hawaiian sound, but very nicely done, this record, and quite a rare recording.
You were wearing a blue the day that I first met you, as we wandered on the sand by the blue, blue sea.
It's autographed too, for what it's worth. I never know whether it's really their signature or not, right? Tandy Records, kind of a cute label, so yeah, I was happy to get that one as well. Tandy, Nalani, Andrade, Hawaiian Rhapsody. Now we come to an album from Bla Pahinui. Now Bla has 3 records, to my knowledge, I think had 3 solo albums. This is one of the sons of Gabi Pahinui. And the way I feel is this album. This is 1979. I think this was the first one, but it was the last one for me to get. You don't see it very often. It's usually quite expensive when you see it, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on it because I had a feeling I might not be that crazy about it. And I was right, and so I was happy that I got it kind of for cheap, pretty cheaply. But this is on Hanaiia or Hanaya record. Put it right side up here.
Looking for your light to shine on me, so I can tell you, stay with me. Birds that fly so high, far up in the sky, just watching people fade away, fade away.
Yeah, just by way of background a little bit, of course, Gabi Pahinui was an institution in Hawaiian music, and his offspring and some other relatives have done good things. Now, when Bla Pahinui, they did some recordings together, I think CDs, the Pahinui brothers, that are great. I really loved them. But as a solo act, I really liked his. This was the first one. I'm not that crazy about it, just because a lot of it's, I don't know, it's not really Hawaiian. There are really no Hawaiian lyrics, and it's a couple of songs are Hawaiian subject matter, and then the rest are just, they're songs. They're not really Hawaiian songs. I really liked the one that came out, for me, 1981, Bla. I really like this record. That's him, and I think that was really a good record. And then the one that came out last, I believe, 1983, just called Bla Pahinui, was, for me personally, it is Hawaiian, a lot more Hawaiian songs on it, but it's a little minimal. There are a couple songs I really like on it, but yeah. I mean, you know, it's just an opinion, right? Everybody has their own opinion. Now we're up to a intriguing record from France. If you like steel guitar playing, which I love steel guitar. An album called simply Hawaiian Guitar, Michael or Michel, I'm not sure, Gesina, how I'm supposed to say that. I've been seeing this one for a long time on eBay France, and I finally broke down and bought it somewhere. Not on eBay France, but I think Discogs or whatever. It is a French record, and it's okay. It didn't blow me away. You know, there weren't any songs that made me go, wow, man, I love that song. There was no song like that on this record, but, you know, it's okay. Nice background, European steel guitar playing. Okay, but here's the thing I'm going to just rag on for a second that I don't understand. Some of the European labels I've noticed will use the same name over and over again sometimes for records. Like this is called Hawaiian Guitar, Michael Gesina. Well, he has another record, Michael Gesina, also called Hawaiian Guitar, but it's a completely different record that I have. Different songs, whatever. I have some other examples of that too, where some of the European labels will just call a record Hawaiian Guitar. And I guess they just distinguish it by the catalog number, but I find that really annoying. Like, why would you, can you not even just like make up another name for the record? I mean, you have to just keep calling it Hawaiian Guitar? What is that? Finally, this is Jimmy D. Now, this is not a Hawaiian record. This would be from the island of Guam. Chama Ritas. Those are Chama Ritas. Chamorro, the natives of Guam are called Chamorros. Chama Rita would be a lady from Guam, right? And that's Mr. Jimmy D. I have one record, another record of his that I like a lot better than this one. This one, I don't know. I'm not that happy about it. I mean, I don't like it that much, but I didn't pay very much for it either. But this is, if you are familiar at all with Filipino music, I think some Chamorro music sounds kind of like some Filipino music. I mean, there is definitely a connection there. And I think the current day Chamorros, there are a lot of people of Filipino blood in Guam, and a lot of, I think the culture's been influenced, you know, some by that. So, in the way that a lot of Hawaiian Hapahali songs sound American and actually kind of sound like Christmas songs, which I've heard people say before, and I agree with. I understand, because they were written in the pop idiom in the same time period, so they do sort of have a relationship. I think there's that kind of a relationship between some Filipino music and some Chamorro music. But anyway, this one, yeah, this is it. It's okay. It's all right. Yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more like this. And also, if you enjoy this kind of music, I do have an online radio station 24/7 called Hawaiian Hi-Fi on live365.com, and I'll link that in the description below, where you can hear music from my Hawaiian record collection 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's free to listen to. So have a good week, and we'll see you in the next video.